isn't it? That's looking quite good. So what I'm going to do now is rinse my brush. Not that I really need to, but I'll try and get in the habit of doing it a little bit. And then we'll grab some black and we'll just put a bit of engine oil in the bottom of this skip, and we'll perhaps put a dribble down the edge somewhere. So I'll get the tiniest bit of black. Probably that on the end there is more than enough. There we go. Teeny tiny bit of black. I'm going to use the more pointy brush now, and this is probably not really going to be dry brushing as such on this bit, because I want to just put a puddle of engine oil in this bottom corner here, because somebody's chucked an old can in there. So that's leaked out. So we're using neat paint on this bit, and it's just going to leak along in the corner, look, and there's perhaps a little bit gone up the side where the can's been open. Obviously, they're not supposed to chuck engine oil in these skips. You can't deal with engine oil, but somebody threw one in because they had it in the shed for years, and they went, I'm getting rid of that, mate. That's going in the skip. So it did. It went in the skip. So it's kind of, what's the word? Capillary. Yeah, capillary action has sort of dragged it up the outside of the skip a little bit there, look, in that corner. Can you see that? Just in there. Just use neat paint just to add a bit of interest to that corner. Okay. But then what I'll do is we can also have some oily, greasy mess on the outside now with our favourite Ken Dodd brush. We'll have a little bit of black. I'm going to be really sparing with this because I don't want too much. I'm just going to start and add a little bit in a couple of places just to tone some of the rust, or add a bit of extra depth to some of the bits of rust. So that we'll have a few additional scratches and marks and stuff. Nothing too extravagant. We'll have a bit of black along the bottom to emphasise that bottom edge. And a tiny little bit along there as well. Just try not to say the word literally, but just doing whatever you feel like doing. As I say, there's hardly any paint on there. If I was to put it on my finger, look, there's hardly anything.
Jeff says he's using AKA Rust Colours set, which is very effective.
Oh, nice. Excellent paints, yeah.
Drybrush Station says, how much do you hire these out for today?
Skip. To you, mate. Mates rates. I don't know. I'll send you one. I don't know. No idea. So there we go. But in this state, they're probably due to be scrapped, I bet, by the time they're like there. A little bit more black along the bottom there, just to got a bit of yellow paint showing, which I'm not completely happy with there, but there you go. Right, so that's taking some kind of shape now. We're getting there. Almost looks like it's cousin. Yeah, it's getting there, isn't it? Not looking too bad at all. So might, looking at the two, I think we're about getting there actually. I think we're not too far off. Might just add a few more longer streaks to the rust on the inside bit going down to the base of the skip. So I might just add a bit more burnt umber.
Justin Phillips says he's got a skip on his drive at the minute, and it looks like it's been ravaged and scored by a monster.
Yeah, it's amazing how they end up. There must be a limited life to them. There must be a point where they go, no, that's had enough abuse now. But I don't know when that is. I don't know whether they're allowed to weld them on it. Anyway, we've dragged a bit more rust down that back piece there. Look, you see that? Just to add interest to that, and I'll perhaps do this back corner as well because I want a bit more in there. So I'm going to put a bit on there to join that up where the concrete and whatever else has run down or has rolled down over the years and scraped all the paint off. There. Right, now I think what we'll do is we'll put a few lighter highlights on, and we'll have the obligatory spilt can of paint, I think, and then we're about done, I think, aren't we? So let's go for a light grey. Again, we want the tiniest bit of grey. So I'm probably not going to bother squeezing it out on this. I'm going to just use Ken Dodd, give it air a wash. Apologies if anybody doesn't know who Ken Dodd is. Just Google him. But no Diddy men were, involved in this making of this video. Probably can't say that these days. Right, so a tiny bit of grey. Again, dab it off because I want to just literally give this, say it again, make it look like somebody's tipped a bag of plaster. So you've just carried a big heavy bag of old plaster from the shed and you've got to the skip. You can just about carry it. It's 25, 30 kilos, whatever it is. You just about got it to the skip. You lift it up, you chuck it over the edge of the skip and it splits. And you go, ah, sugar. And it dribbles all down the inside of the skip.
W says he uses, or at the minute he's for a pallet, he's using the plastic inners from Hotel Chocolate 6-pack.
Ooh, get you.
Which someone bought him for Father's Day.
Ooh, very nice. That's the poshest palette I've ever seen, to be honest. In fact, that's where Elizabeth works. I might ask her to get me some if she's got any. Get some old, what's this? With the chocolates in would be really nice. Can't beat Hotel Chocolate. Right, so we've got a little bit of, what's it? It's perhaps a bit grey, so maybe it's more cement. But what I'm going to do is put some white over that now. We'll have a few extra bits of grey in places. That's a bit too much. So we'll see if I can wipe that off. There we go.
Justin Phillips says when the floor rusts out, this one is a bit flaky.
Yeah. Not sure how I do flaky rust, to be honest. I've not worked that one out yet. But maybe I'll think of something. So we've got some bit of grey on the outside, a few other random spots of stuff where things have landed over the years. A bit on that end, perhaps. And a bit on the top. There we go. Let's put a bit of white on now because we need something a little bit lighter. That grey is a bit too dark. So let's have a bit of white over the top of the grey. Just to pick that out. There's a white one. I'm trying to get a tiny bit of white on the palette, that's all. Don't need much. That's plenty, that little dot there. She's sitting there killing herself with laughing.
I've seen Ken Dodd twice, and each time he didn't let us out till well after midnight.
That doesn't surprise me at all. I think he just loved performing, didn't he? I think he was just one of those old school performers that just loved every minute of it. Right, there we go. So we've got some plaster and whatever else dribbling down into there, or dusty cement and plaster down at the bottom of the skip there. We could have another one where somebody else has perhaps done the same this side, but in a different place. So they've just chucked it over the edge on that bit. So this is just a titanium white, this is, but it's just a white. Any old white will do. There, and we'll go, because it's easy to miss the skip sometimes when you bring your wheelbarrow up to it and it dribbles down the front. So we'll have some mess down the front there. Bit on the edge. Just lightens it up. Adds a bit of interest to it. There you go. Now we're going to do a bit more spilt something. So we're going to spill some paint on this. As we know, they don't like cans of paint in a skip. So we're going to chuck one in it. Hopefully this will work. So we're going to use our pointy brush. And I'm just going to get the paint straight out of here because there's no point in me fiddling about. And I'm just going to put it so it lands somewhere about there and just dribbles down into, can you see that? I don't know whether I'm working on camera or not. Just dribbles down into the bottom of the skip. Like that. Then we perhaps have a bit of a puddle again where it's landed and it's all spilt out. It's a bit of red paint or blood, if that's your thing. You could be doing a what's it scene, couldn't you? You could be doing a Dexter scene or something. Black bin bags with stuff in them, disposing of bodies or whatever. You know. Who knows? You can model anything. You could be doing zombies, you could be doing whatever you want. And we'll do a bit of blue as well. So again, not bother squeezing the paint out because I want such a small amount. So we'll go the blue down this corner as well here. So we'll pop it there. And let that splash up there. And then run down into the base of the skip. So it's going to come down to the bottom, run down that edge, and seep into the corners a little bit. Yeah. Bit of leaky paint. All right. I think that's not far off done. Does anybody think I should add any more to it? Any more of anything? Or are we done? Do you reckon? I think that's about there, don't you? What's Tina think? Yeah. Does it need anything else? Are we done? Do you think it's about there? I think it's probably not far off, is it? I'll add a bit more.
A little bit more red, maybe.
Red paint or red rust?
Rust.
Red rust. Right, let's get some more red rust.
Philip says if you do want to put cans of paint in, pour some post concrete into the tin, the paint will go hard.
Ah, clever. Clever. Right, more red rust. So a bit more red rust. Anywhere in particular or just generally over it?
Yeah.
Let's just get a bit on this edge then. A bit on there. A couple more patches.
I ruined it now.
You cheeky monkey. Did you hear it? You've ruined it now. God dear. Cheeky monkey. I think we're about there. I think it's done. So there we go. There we are. Yes, let's call it a night at that.
Flip the screen round of your thingy so that they can see it.
Yeah, I think possibly. Can you? I don't know. If you click on the settings on that, you should better flick it around. Did that work?
Yeah.
Right. So that's this. You can now read that hopefully,
yeah.
rather than it saying pix whatever it says. Rather than being back to front. Yeah. So we're no longer on social media camera. We're on normal camera. So you can read that properly now, and it should still be the right way up. So here we go. A weathered skip. So all we've actually used is 6 colours. We used Van Dyke Brown, Van Dyke Brown, burnt umber, a little bit of white, a little bit of black, and we used a red, cadmium red hue, and primary blue. But any old blue or red or whatever colour you want for paint, don't matter. I was going to use some green, but I can't remember where I put my green now. Well, obviously didn't bring it over. And we say white for a bit of cement, concrete, postcrete, whatever it might be, dribbled down the side there. We've got black for engine oil. Lots of browns, lots of brown in there for rust. It's a well and truly battered skip, that. I think you could go as far as that or less. You can have a couple of skips that look nice and almost brand new. Oh, upside down again. Right, upside down. A couple of skips that look brand new. Or go with really weathered or part way in between. It's entirely up to you. But hopefully you found that useful.